What's going on, Anime Real Talk TV? This is Ziploc Bloody here. Um, just wanted to give you guys a good manga suggestion. This is a manga I hold up very high. Very good. I think everybody should read it, especially if you're into history and martial arts. It is called Vagabond. I know a lot of people have heard about this, but just in case you haven't, you should definitely pick this up. It tells the story of two ancient, two historical figures. They're known as Miyato Musashi, which is the main character, and Sasaki Kojiro. Now, it is illustrated and told by Takehiko Inoue. He's a very good artist. He draws some of the most realistic looking characters I've seen in manga, period. He has a very like I said, realistic style to him, as you'll notice just from the covers of his manga. You can tell it's not very, he doesn't have the big eyes and the kind of the pretty boy look. His style is very distinctive from others. You know it's him when he's doing the art. He also did the manga series known as Slam Dunk, which is also an anime and very well known, based off basketball. And he's also done other manga series that it's called Real. He's done that, which is also very good. I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna suggest that manga later on. But let's get back to Vagabond. Vagabond takes the story of Miyato Musashi, who was first called Shinmen Taketsu, and he basically was a brash young man who was in a war. He killed a lot of people. He was known as, in the village he was in, he's known as the Devil Child. He was the son of one of the most powerful swordsmen in Japan. Basically what he has to do is he has to learn what it means to live. His idea of living before this monk came along and helped him out was he wanted to die an honorable death on the battlefield. He wanted to be famous. He wanted to be known as one of the great people who died on the battlefield. But he comes along this monk comes along whose name is Shoho Takan. Hope I'm pronouncing these names right. Sorry if I'm not. Who basically takes Taketsu and he basically tells him about life. He says, he wants him to have a greater appreciation for life. And he ties him to a tree for a couple of days, and he doesn't give him anything to eat. He says, I'm going to leave you here, and you're not going to be able to get down or anything like that. Not until I'm satisfied with you. And basically, Taketsu learns this lesson. He learns what it is to live, when it is to value life. And the monk gives him a new name. He says, from now on, you are not going to be Taketsu. You're going to be known as Miyato Musashi. And he leaves the place, and he goes around the world basically challenging different swordsmen of different classes and things like that in order to become stronger. Not just physically either, but mentally. And basically what this manga is to me, it's basically telling the life of a boy who's trying to become a man. And eventually we know he's going to become a legend, since Miyato Musashi is actually a real historical figure, but it's the journey to becoming that legend that is great. Great storytelling in this manga. It is very good. I'm hoping that it gets adapted into an anime eventually. It could be very good if done right. It is fantastic. Like I said, if you haven't read it, you should really pick it up. It I believe the volumes are $12.99 each. I know that's a lot, but you're getting a lot of information with this manga series. You're getting a lot with this manga series. It is for mature readers, so I would suggest this for mature readers definitely, because there's some things in here that happen. There's a lot of violence, of course, with all samurai type series. There and realistic violence too, like the blood looks almost real in here and stuff like that. There's sex, there's mention of drugs and things like that, and there's some very just out of control things that happen in this manga, but they help move the story along, and the character Miyato Musashi really grows on you. At first you really don't like him. Well, I didn't like him at first because he seemed like a real a-hole, but eventually he really grows on you as he gets older. As the story moves along, you really start to like the character of Miyato Musashi, and you get to know his rival too, who is Sasaki Kojiro, who is actually deaf. He can't hear, but he's still a great swordsman. We get to know more about him. And the thing about Sasaki Kojiro in here in this version is that he's very smart. And yeah, he's deaf and he can't hear, but he doesn't really say much. But by his body language, the way Anime-san, the way he draws these characters, the way he draws that character, you can really see what he's trying to say, what he's trying to do. And there really is no need for words or inner monologue or stuff like that. You just know what he's doing. You can figure it out easily. It's common sense. And I really think that shows the talent of this guy in his artwork. He really gets facial expressions. He gets body language. He gets all that stuff. It is just fantastic. If you you know, like I said, pick this manga up. It is very good. Not a lot of people talk about it. It's not very mainstream. It's very underrated. It's one of those manga series I think deserve much more praise than it gets. A lot of people have given it criticism that it's a bit boring. To me, it's not boring. It's very entertaining. It's a very laid-back manga, but it gets it has great build-up. And yeah, there is a lot of fights in here, but like I said, it has great build-up to those fights. So when the fights do happen, you're emotionally invested. When a character dies, you're emotionally invested. You feel sorry, you're sad that the character's dying, and stuff like that. And you really just want to know more about this character, about this real historical character. It's actually based off some of the adaptations of Eiji Yoshikawa's novel Musashi. It's actually a novel. It's actually kind of based off that. But that's all I'm really going to say about this manga series. Just pick it up if you get the chance. And AnimeRealTalkTV, I am out. Have a good one. And I'm going to leave it at that.